Discomfort is subjective. And I was thinking about it today because my son is in town and we went to get lunch, and it was only maybe 1 or 2 blocks away from our house, and he asked me, do we need to drive? And I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, yeah, maybe, it's only a block or two away. And he made a comment. He said, oh, how very American of us. Well, that got me thinking, and I was like, yeah, like it's only a couple of blocks away. And I started to reflect on why I wanted to drive. And it all comes down to convenience. I was thinking, well, at this time of the year, I don't know how to dress. Sometimes I dress too warm, sometimes I'm too cool. And I didn't know if I should wear a coat or not wear a coat. And he said, well, you could put a coat on. And I was like, yeah, I could. And then I started thinking about it more, and I was like, once I start walking, I'll warm up. So we walked, and it was wonderful, and it was beautiful, and we got some fresh air and some sunshine. And on the way back, I could feel my food digesting, and it's such a blessing to live within walking distance of restaurants and supermarkets and those types of things. And the uncertainty of how cold it's going to be, and as a deterrent to me wanting to walk, it was curious, and I wanted to think about it more. And I realized there was a level of discomfort that I wasn't willing to experience. And really, it wasn't much of a discomfort at all. It was actually a pleasure. But we learn what is uncomfortable or what is discomfort, and maybe we try to avoid those things. We avoid what we consider to be discomforts. But once we start integrating them into our lives, we start to see them as pleasurable experiences or part of life, or not really anything to be that concerned about. Think of it this way. You have a washing machine that washes your clothes. If you went from washing your clothes in a washing machine to hand washing all your clothes, you might determine that that's a discomfort. Like, you don't want to do it, right? Just bringing up the thought of it may be uncomfortable. But if you wash your clothes all the time by hand, and it's just part of your life, maybe it's not that much of a discomfort. It's just part of life. But then if you wash your clothes by hand, but you have no warm water, and all you have is freezing cold water, that might be a discomfort. So our ability to tolerate more than we think that we can, and this idea that discomfort is something that we decide to focus on. Of course, if it has to do with harming us physically, that's different. But this idea of discomfort, especially in American society, is one that's interesting to think about. We have a lot of privilege here, and even the least privileged of us have a lot more privilege here. And it's almost something that we kind of shy away from any discomfort. And you can see it being harmful to our environment, to our health, because our bodies need a little bit of stress. They need a little bit of struggle to make them stronger physically. The types of stress and struggle we give ourselves a lot of times here in America are mental. The fear, the anger, the worry about all these things, financially, etc. But the act of living, simply enjoying what our bodies can do and how we can care for ourselves in ways that are holistic, are not always something that we put at the forefront. How are you? What do you think about discomfort? What is uncomfortable to you? What do you shy away from? And if you pressed into it more or integrated it into your life, how would your life be better? Walking more, talking more, living closer to other humans, maybe growing your own own food, living in places that were more natural. I don't know. Something to think about. Yeah.